You know, as I walked to the dining hall this morning, it's 29 degrees here in Tennessee. And of course, this is what we call the dead season. And I look back over the years and I can really truly say, you know what? I've followed the instructions and I've got it right. Given the environment that we're looking at today, of course, you know, we're in the dead of winter and we mostly do all our growing, you know, during the spring and summer. I mean, you can see the greenhouse. There's one of them right there. You can see another greenhouse right there. And starting right here where I'm walking at now is the beginning of one of our gardens. We, you know, we have cattle, chickens, milk goats, and land to be able to sustain them. And of course, coming from the city, it wasn't a difficult transition for me because it's something I knew I wanted to do. Right here, you can see all the raised beds. Now, right now, they're lying dormant because here in a little bit, we're going to plant collard greens about another month or so. And I'm still walking the length of our garden. And we put an extraordinary amount of food in this garden. And this is just one of the garden plots that we have. And I look back at how difficult it was. And I'll give you an example. This right here is one of the old trailers that families have lived in on this land. It's a roof. It has a wood stove in it, but it has no running water in it. Barely electricity, what you want to call it, but we lived like that a long time. And of course, I just passed by a few homes. And it's one thing for people to get out here and talk about preparation and to preach about preparation, but I will tell you this. I've been told not only once but 1,000 times by people who've come to visit, and they've all admitted that we've got it right, that we are literally the only successful community that they know of in America, and they have actually visited quite a few. It's easy for people to have homesteads and develop them and have them, but everybody is not anointed to have communities, and that's a fact. It's been a long journey, and I'm sure it's going to be even longer. Be the Father's will, I believe it is. And I tell you, let me give you just a look. Not right now, it's snowing actually. Who'd believe that? Now look at this. Right there behind me, if you can see, that is our, what we call a dining hall. Pretty big building. Has a nice deck on there to accommodate a lot of people. And of course, we built that many years ago. And when I think about all the choices and decisions that I've made and what I've done over the years to try to inspire people to do the same things, I realize that if you had 100 people, that maybe no more than 10 people would take heed of what you're saying for every 100 people and actually make the moves and do it. I realize that. And I'm glad at least those amount of people have, because when you look at the SNAP program and you look at the low grade based food that these people are being sent, they don't have any choice now. They've lived off the system. And don't get me wrong, I know a lot of people are working and still are using the programs, not because they want to, it's because the wages are so low in this country that they have to. And most people, the good hardworking people in this country, they only use welfare, government assisted welfare, as a means to get back on their feet and then pull themselves up and then continue to keep driving on from there. And then they quickly get off of it. But on the flip side, we have those who are abusers of the system, that have an entitlement mentality, that believe that simply because they exist, it's owed to them. We're getting ready to watch protests start here in America, and it's going to be over food. Because when you have a bunch of people, and I don't think that the protest is mostly going to come from the lazy people who are getting extraordinary big. I think they're going to complain. I think they're going to do their own little protest in their own little way. Well, you can no longer use the funds that the government provides for people to go out and buy what you want to buy. I mean, I even heard that you can use the EBT cards or SNAP or whatever they call them nowadays. You can go to restaurants and actually sit down and have a real nice meal, a good steak dinner, and use them. Well, those days are over with, because now they're sending you the scraps, the leftovers, the high fat content, full of MSG and everything else. And you're actually going to watch the health decline in people, because, you know, what you put in your body is directly connected to your health and your condition. I really don't know what people are going to do when all they've done is nothing. I hope it hasn't been you. I hope that you've taken heed to wise counsel and that you're making moves right now, or should have made moves years ago. Let me know how it is in your neck of the woods with people in that mentality.